Hello, I am Shante Hassel, an independent florist here in Gwinnett County, a proud board member of the Norcross Garden Club, and today I'm going to show you how to make a holiday topiary using Alstoremeria. So we have here our beautiful Alstoremeria. This is usually sold in packs of 10. And for this project you'll need 20 stems. And then we have lotus pods that we're going to decorate our arrangement with, and some dried mushrooms, berry garland that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, a nice container to make it in, have 2 blocks of Oasis Foam, and some beautiful mood moss, and then our various utensils we'll need to make the arrangement. So first, you want to open up your pack of Alstoremeria, and if a head like this breaks off, save it because it's going to go at the base of our arrangement. So I got my floral education at Atlanta House Floral Design School. They're located in Atlanta, and they have wonderful classes and programs, and if you mention my name, Shante Hassel, you'll get $10 off your course. So the first step is to strip the leaves of the Alstoremeria, and you can just do that by just pulling down. You want to hold it taut so you don't break the stem, and just pull down. And I'm also looking at the direction. So this is upright, so this is going to be the center of my topiary. And I'm making like a pile of which ones are more upright and which ones are falling out some. So Alstoremeria will open more, and it's long lasting. Today's the 13th of December, and this will definitely last until Christmas. Just keep the moss moist and the container moist, and also don't put it directly in the heat or light. This one's bad, so I'm just going to throw it away. Yep, so I'm just stripping my Alstoremeria. This one was the one that the head already fell off of. So all these look pretty upright. So this will be the center of my topiary as well as in the bottom. So now I'm going to prep my Oasis. So when you're hydrating your Oasis, you just want to put it in the water. Don't push it at all. Just let it slowly submerge itself. This should take like 30 seconds or less. But if you push it in, you're going to get air pockets. And you don't want that. It's not going to be evenly moist. So yep, see, it's just going to completely cover itself. And then this first one, I'm just going to prep in here. And while I'm getting ready to cut this one, I'll get this one started. And so this one absorbed a lot of the water, so I'm just going to add more water. I'm using a Topiary container, a storage container, but you could totally, do this in your sink if you wanted to. So now I'm going to cut my Oasis. I want it to stick out a little bit over the container, so I'm just going to go above, actually, a little bit above that line. And this is a foam knife. You can find this on Amazon. Okay. And it's a little bit high on this side. I'm just going to trim it, make it a little bit more even. So that's good. So this one's submerged. And save this, I'm going to be using this too. But right now, I'm going to first take this one, and I'm going to cut going down on the diagonal, like that. Because I want to get some long pieces to kind of wedge against this foam so the container is not like wobbling around. There's really no wrong or right way to do this. You just want to make sure you get the foam in there. And I'm just going to put more pieces. You can just really just push it in there. It doesn't have to look pretty. This is not going to be seen. And then I'm just going to kind of just go across the top to make sure everything's kind of at the same level. Okay, so I got the moss in here. It's not so pretty, but I'm going to be sticking the topiary in this main piece, and then the moss is just going to just simply lay atop of the rest of the container. So let's start forming our topiary. So I'm picking some upright pieces. They're going to make the ball shape. So 3, probably put 4 in the center like this. So now I'm going to start going around. That's 5 pieces. 6, 7. So I'm going to try to keep at least 5 pieces for the bottom. Just kind of turning it as I add more flowers, and I'm just going down to make that beautiful ball shape. Alright, I'm going to use one more piece, and then I'm going to save 5 pieces for the bottom. So this is our topiary shape. It will continue to bloom as the days pass. And I should have cut my tape in advance, but I'm going to get some tape right now. I'm actually going to need 3 pieces. I'll just get 1 piece to start. And this is just waterproof tape. So this first piece is going to go right at the top, because this is going to hold our shape in place. Just be gentle, you don't want to press too hard on the flowers and break them or bruise them. And I'm just trying to go right on top of each other so it doesn't create too large of a band, because I don't want my mechanics to show. So I'm going to put this down and cut 2 more pieces of tape. So now I'm going to add 2 more pieces. This middle piece is simply just to keep the shape when I insert it into the Oasis, and this piece will be removed, and then this last piece is going to hold the shape when I trim it into a dagger shape so that it can go down into the foam without making too big of a hole. And this piece of tape will not be removed. So I'm just going around, the tape is sticking to itself. So now I want to cut this on the slant into a dagger shape. So I'm just going to use my scissors, or you can use a floral knife if that works better for you. I think that looks pretty good. Take off any extra pieces.
Do you want some of this?
No, thank you. So now I'm going to just push it in to my moss like that. It's in the main piece. And there's tons of water at the bottom, and that is the arrangement. So now we are going to add this beautiful mood moss. I could just lay it on top like that if I wanted to keep it thick, or I can trim it a little bit. so it doesn't lay so thick on the top. And I like to add a little water to my moss. You can totally submerge that just because it becomes more pliable like that, and it gives the arrangement some additional moisture. So, and then I'm just going to go where it just overlaps the edge just a little bit so you can make sure none of the foam is showy. And then if you have a big chunk like this, you know, I'm going to break it up into smaller pieces like that. You know, and then you can wring it out a little bit, especially, you know, if you're going to be putting it on a nice table, you don't want it sopping wet. But I'm just doing this outside, so I'll have a chance to wipe it down before I take it inside. And then I'm just placing the moss just all around. So that's why it didn't matter how the Oasis looked on the bottom, because, you know, it's mainly going to be moss on top of it. And then I'm going to stick it down like that. So as you know, as you can see, I didn't center the topiary in the center because I am going to be adding flowers and mushrooms and lotus pads to it. So it wasn't important to have it in the center because I wanted to make room for all of my decorations to go in there. So I'm going to pin down using these green pins just around the edges. I don't need much because the moss will also be held down by all the accessories I'm going to put in there. When I put that in there, I'm just making sure the pins are not being showed, so I'm using the moss to kind of cover it. I'm just going to go around, maybe just put 2 on each side. Okay, that's good. So the first thing I'm going to do is add in my Alstoremeria. So when I add this in, I'm going to cut it at a diagonal so that it can stick into the moss. Let's see. Now I'm just going to stick this into the Oasis. And if you're having a hard time sticking it in there because the moss is thick, you can make a little insertion with your scissors or with the knife. Just kind of cut into the moss in the Oasis. Yep, I'm just gonna make a little bed around it, making sure when I stick it in there I know that it's in the moss. This one's thick over here, so then I can also go back and kind of, if I want to trim the moss a little bit, I can. I usually use my lazy Susan, but I forgot that. But that definitely helps turning it around. Okay, so this is the Alstoremeria, and then I'm going to put these beautiful mushrooms on the side here, which is why I wanted to save space. And so they're like 3 different shape sizes, so I'm just going to kind of play with that and just go right down the side. So now we're going to add some lotus pods. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to put this medium-sized one, and I'm also cutting these on the diagonal too. Like that. And then this is the smallest one. I'm going to put that like that right here. And then the big one, I'm going to put down like that. And this one's a little bit too small. I can't get a stem, so that one doesn't look like it's going to make it on the arrangement. So now I'm getting ready to add my berry garland. Okay, and so before I do that, I'm going to take off this tape, this middle tape here. So, okay, so my last step, I took the middle tape off. Now I'm going to add my berry garland. So to do that, I'm going to put a U-dash glue on both sides of the topiary. So this glue is just going to let the garland stick on better. There's like a little tab you can use to peel the back off. Okay. Oh, it's really sticky, but it comes off really easy at the same time. So first I'm going to just get that going. I'm going to try to cover this green tape. Then I'm just going to go down the rest of it like this. And then I'm going to just stick it through. And just stick it into the moss like that. And there you go. That is a beautiful holiday topiary for the season, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.